Journal of Islamic Finance. We have the pleasure to host 60 researchers during the day and to have a presentation of 35 papers coming from 23 nations. Okay, first of all, let's have a look of an introduction video of the University of Turin. Please, Davide, go on.
There is no voice. I have a meeting right now. There is no voice is coming, right?
Okay, thank you. And also we have the welcome address of the Dean of the Department of Management, Professor Francesca Culasso. Please, Davide.
Dear colleagues, dear students, and distinguished guests, welcome to the 6th edition of the Turin Islamic Economic Forum. Today, the forum is a crucial component of our department, the Department of Management, Valter Cantino, as we continue to prioritize innovative research and knowledge sharing. This commitment is fully actualized through the TIEF project. This online 3-day event represents indeed a unique opportunity to explore innovative scientific fields, contributing not only to academic development, but also to the progress of our territory. The forum will focus primarily on Islamic economic and finance, as these topics offer a rich arena for interdisciplinary research that encompasses legal, ethical, and cultural dimensions. The TIEF serves as a platform for where professionals and academics from Italy and from around the world can come together and share their expertise and experience, and contributing to essential global dialogues and the development of new theories and practices. Indeed, it is an invaluable opportunity for our students who can learn and actively participate in these meaningful conversations. We are excited to connect the TIEF with the European Journal of Islamic Finance, which attests to our commitment in promoting knowledge diffusion. Published worldwide and ranked as, let me say, scientific in Italy and Norway. The journal is fully open access, and it is indexed in several reputable databases such as IBSCO, with over 144 articles published so far. Additional, our commitment to high quality research is further reinforced by our partnership with the distinguished IDEA scientific journal series that is titled European Islamic Finance Series. Today, on November 23rd, we will have the pleasure of hosting the European Journal of Islamic Finance workshop with some of the top scholars worldwide, including our visiting professor, Kabir Hassan, that has over 32,500 citations, and Burhan Uluyol, a professor of Islamic finance in Turkey. Welcome. The workshop will involve the discussion of 35 research articles and the participation of over 60 colleagues from 23 different nations. This is a significant moment for scientific advancement and cultural exchange, as it provides a platform for international colleagues to showcase their cutting-edge research on various topics and notions, such as sustainability, ethics, and the impact of new technologies in the fields of Islamic economic and finance. So we thank you so much for your participation, for being here, virtually here, and contribution. And we wish you good luck in your future endeavors. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you, the director of our Department of Management. And now I want to share some figure about our journal, the European Journal of Islamic Finance, and also about the progress that we are doing during the time. Let's go back to the 2014. We had the first TIEF edition, but also we have the issue of the first number of our publication with 5 articles. Then year by year, we reach the amount of 144 total articles published in our journal. We have also a good rejected ratio that is an important element for the quality of our scientific journal. And we have also a pipeline of articles in review as double-blind system. Okay. From the point of view of the geographical interest, we have contribution from worldwide, especially with Asia and Africa, but also European countries. As you know, European countries are less Muslim countries, so it's interesting that we are growing also in European countries and North America. Looking at what we have done in terms of quality of the journal, relating to the indexing process, we have some goal achieved already, like to be inserted in some database, the OIJ, CABI, Index Copernicus, the Italian AMBUR system, and also Norwegian directorate. But we look to develop our activities also in more important and more well-known accreditation system like Scopus and Web of Science, and we are almost ready for this process. And I want to also thank you to our associate editor and their effort to make our journal stronger and stronger, and also to receive also accreditation in local countries. From the point of view of the double-blind review process, we are also forcing on the bonus for our reviewer, and we use the reviewer credits from 2021 that enhance the maximum transparency of what we are doing in our system. I want to stress also the point of related to the journal. We have also a referred series on Islamic finance that is again like journal completely for free in terms of cost of publication, and the objective of this series is to publish original monographic scientific work in English, but also in Arabic, Italian, and Persian. Okay, the series is open to contribution based on different methodologies and method with theoretical, empirical, and experimental research. The book will be published online and also a printed version in different countries. This I want to show also the face, and thanks again our associate editor of the journal that enhance our credibility in the frame of Islamic finance worldwide. But at the end, but not less important, the supporting editorial team of the conference and also of the journal, and the colleague that helped me and help us to run day by day our activities in terms of research in Islamic finance and in other topic. All right, so now I don't want to waste time, and I want to give the floor to Alberto Brugnoni, that is my co-chair in the Turin Islamic Economic Forum, and I leave the floor to him to describe what we are doing in terms of Turin Islamic Economic Forum and what we did in the last 2 days. Please, Alberto, take the floor. Thanks.
Thank you, Paolo. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this important day. The TIEF, Turin Islamic Economic Forum, it's a, let me say, a unique proposition in the world. Why unique? Well, there are a lot of forums, meetings, workshops in the world concerning Islamic finance, ecosystem, Islamic ecosystem, halal issues. But they are all organized and sponsored by banks, by group of interest, by dedicated group of people, sometimes there is mosque, but there is no one, and I challenge to contradict my statement, there is no one single forum organized in the world that is sponsored by a big municipality as Turin. You will never hear about a London or Karachi or whatever for Manila Forum or New York Forum on Islamic finance. And this in today's world is a major achievement. As we know, as we read the newspaper every day, we live in a very conflicting world where issues about Islam, Islamic finance, Islamic ecosystem springs here and there everywhere. So once again, I want to commend the partners, the municipality of Turin and the Chamber of Commerce of Turin, and of course, the Università di Torino, University of Torino, well represented by Professor Paolo Biancone. Now, we had now six, they were a long journey now. TIEF is a biennial event and a 3-day biennial event, and we reach now the sixth the TIEF. The first 4 or 5 TIEF were in presence. This one was the first one that was only online, and I would say, let me say, Alhamdulillah, was a very great success, and a lot of people connected were, sharing and uploading our files. The first day, which was on Tuesday, was very much Turin centric. It concerned, we had 3 sessions, all moderated by Paolo Biancone, by Professor Paolo Biancone. The one, of course, we are in Italy, so and Torino, as you know, is a top tourism destination. So the first session was themed Torino and attracting, if I recall, Torino and attracting tourism, these sort of things. As we have a lot, it must be said clearly, a lot of halal tourist initiatives in Turin. So, I mean, Muslim tourists can come to Torino and find a pretty much friendly halal environment in terms of food, in terms of mosque. I recall that the airport of Torino is one of the only one in Italy that has a prayer room in terms of course, hotel accommodations. Then we moved to a second session, and this was about attracting business, about aerospace. Torino has a very strong and I would say worldwide known history on aerospace research, and so we gather the best researchers, professionals, academicians on aerospace in this session. And the third one was dedicated to all the initiatives that has been done in Torino in the last 10 years, thanks to Professor Paolo Biancone, on inclusion. In Italy, we have about 2.7 million Muslims, and I stress 50% of them have Italian nationality, and about 100,000 are living in Torino. So it's very important to talk about inclusion and Islamic finance. Which brings me to the two, I would say, raison d'etre, the two souls, the two reasons why we have TIEF. Well, the first one is, of course, to attract investment in all fields, not only in Turin, but in the region of Turin called Piedmont, or nationwide in Italy. In every field, we are all looking for improving investment, establish links, creating new opportunities in businesses, big and small. But this is only actually, to be honest with you, is just the one soul of the TIEF. The other one, which is very close to my heart, has to do about inclusion once again. By inclusion, we mean that we must give to the Muslim community, to the Italian Muslim community, the ways and tools to feel home and to be able to run their business, their families, their daily life according to their principles. And as I told you, we have about, I gave you the number of Muslims in Italy, but also I want to add that in Italy we have, we don't have very precise figures because the census does not allow it, but we have about 100 Italian Muslims. So people that are of Italian origin, I hate to use this word origin, but I mean, just to show you, you know, the two groups. So the second day, I'm sorry, yesterday, we had 3 sessions that were all themes inclusion. Was the first one on social, the second one on art, Islamic heritage, and the third one on health. Okay, financial inclusion is pretty much clear. Let's drop it. But I want to spend, if I can, Paolo, a few seconds about Islamic heritage. Listen to this. Italy has, well, you know, Italy is the, I don't want to say Italy, but I'm Italian. So, I mean, you know, Italy is a country of beauty. We know Renaissance, we know Baroque, and blah. What people don't know is Italy has the largest and the most important Islamic heritage in all Europe. When I'm talking about Islamic heritage, I'm talking about architectures, I'm talking about metals, about tissues, about all sorts of things. The largest in Europe, which has 2 very important peculiarities. The first one, this Islamic heritage is spread, I would say, from the Alps to the pyramids. We don't have pyramids, but I mean from the very north to Sicily. We know Sicily was an Islamic country, actually, for a number of years. But if I go to the top of the peninsulas in the very north, we have Islamic heritage there. So this is the first very important peculiarity. This Islamic heritage is spread out all the peninsula. But the second one is very important. The Italian Islamic heritage is not the result of colonialism. Okay, you go to the British Museum, you go to Louvre, you go to St. Petersburg, for example, you have very rich collections, but they were all the results of colonialism. And we know what this word means. In Italy, no. In Italy was always the result either of trade, talking about Venice, Genoa, Pisa, and all the trade was on the Mediterranean during the Middle Ages, or very important, the collections. We have a number, endless number of very cute collectors that amass a number of items of Islamic origin. So, I mean, we have those heritage with these 2 peculiarities. The goal of our session was twofold: to attract a learned tourism from the Gulf, and to come to Italy not only to on a buying spree, but to enjoy the beauty of Islamic art, but above all, to give the sense of belonging to the Muslim living here, that something was here before they came. You know, migrants always come to better their lives, as Italians did in the past. I remember, I recall that there are about 50 million Italians abroad that were abroad and went to everywhere as migrants, to give those Muslims a sense of belonging, a sense of being in a country where they can, though they were not born here, they can trace their origins. The third session was health. Why health? Well, we know that there is a big market of Islamic pharmaceutical, which is about maybe $95 billion, which is about 8% of the world market. And there is a big market of cosmetics. Now, a halal cosmetic. Now, the greatest exporter of halal cosmetic is France, but most of those halal cosmetics are white labeled and produced in Italy. And this session focused on two best practices we have at a major hospital here in Torino, called Le Molinette, which is a very big health center, where they are having special protocols to accommodate the need of Muslim patients, their needs, the family needs in terms of spiritual assistance, in terms, for example, of quality of assistance, in terms of blood transfusions, and in terms of all the things that can help a person that has a health issue accommodating his daily life. So those were the 2 days. We have produced clips that will be disseminated, actually 6 clips, 1 clip for each and every session, 3 the first day, 3 the second day, that will be disseminated through various channels worldwide. And we want to build up on those clips, producing, now that we have found a very effective way of promoting our policies and promoting TIEF, and we're looking forward to produce more clips on different topics and distribute them worldwide. So I spoke too much. Thank you very much, Paolo, for inviting me, and I wish everybody a fruitful and interesting day.
Thank you, Alberto. And now it's, I think, the time for the special guest of this morning. So it's my pleasure to describe, first of all, what we are going to do in this first session, and then I leave the floor to our special guest. So in this morning we have the first keynote speech of Professor Burhan Uluyol Saiti of the Istanbul Sabahattin Zaim University, that will describe us Sukuk financing for the development and the infrastructural project. The proposal several Sukuk structure. Then we will have a virtual coffee break. I prefer not tea, I prefer coffee, and Turin is very well known as Lavazza coffee producer, and so we will have a coffee virtual break. Then we can start more or less at 10:30 to the parallel session, and we have many parallel sessions, but you have already received the link for your parallel session. So let me introduce again, and I want to thank you again, Professor Burhan Uluyol, and please take the floor.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Paolo, and also other colleagues as well. And also thanks for inviting me as a guest guest speaker as well for this estimated events as well. And also I would like to congratulate, a consistent job by Turin University and contributing to the Islamic finance at large, actually. You are doing a great job, and thanks for that as well, actually, either publishing or managing this European Journal of Islamic Finance. I think you are contributing a lot for that, actually. Okay, so David, I share the screen, but can you see the slides? Can you see, or you cannot?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. Thank you. So today I try my best to deliver a topic on the Sukuk financing for development and infrastructural projects, and propose and several Sukuk structures. Just now, as mentioned, even the videos, we can see the importance of the healthcare, importance of the environment, and also environment of the food, and so on and so forth, actually. So how the sukuk can help or to contribute and the such and the need. So I would like to show several and sukuk structures. There will be some problematic sukuk structures, and also there will be some innovative sukuk structures. So I will show all of them like one by one. So what are the current issues? David, can see my slides? Sorry, I just want because
Yes, thank you. We can see.
Okay, very good, very good. So the world is facing excessive level of the debt. Okay, no much room for the debt funding. I think as Italy as a country, you also experiencing. I mean, this is what they call is a problematic of the debt actually. So rising interest rate environment also posing the serious cause for the concern of build up the debt as well. As you know, I mean, now is a USA and also like many different countries increasing the interest rate as well. So this is underpinning in other serious issues as well. So as you know, equity financing is not option for the government because government can only issue the bonds actually, not the for sukuk. Not for the stocks actually. So it will be very expensive. So there will be needed to explore the solution without the leverage and to move away from our reliance on the debt. Okay, so meaning that I mean we have to reduce our reliance on the debt as well. Otherwise, as the world is facing more and the serious and the problems as well. So it's must bakan de maraku in order to fund the development infrastructure. Okay, development infrastructure. Most of the Muslim countries suffer from external debt as well. I think now it's not only the Muslim countries and some European countries also facing this problem as well, actually, even though those countries need substantial development infrastructure. Okay, however, they cannot fund them domestically, okay, due to inadequate resources. Okay, therefore, this government often borrow from foreign countries like China, okay, and or like international financial institutions like IMF. So the borrowing countries will be facing some numerous and the challenges as well, like fluctuation of the home currency, like Turkey, for example. Okay, I think is they borrow a lot of money from China now because the borrowing is denominated, okay, denominated in the USD, but there will be fluctuation of the home currency as well, while the borrowing, you see, I mean, they're foreign currencies. So leverage and economic fluctuation of the countries increase because of the such borrowings as well. Also, those countries face commodity price vulnerability as well because of the heavy reliance on commodity exports as well. So they argue that the recent innovation of the Islamic bond, or the what we call is a sukuk, can reduce such external borrowing, leverage, and vulnerability. So we will see like one by one how they can do that actually. Okay, so this one I think is, I don't want to touch more on that. Actually, this is the principles of Islamic finance. As you know, there will be must tangible asset. There must be the partners, they're free from speculation. They're free from uncertainties, investment, alcohol, drug, gambling, and so on and so forth is like prohibited and so on and so forth. So if you look at the project features, for example, I mean, the project is allowing the risk to be shared to the partners. Okay, I mean, what I want to say here is there are many similarities between Islamic finance and project financing. I think I don't want to read like one by one, but I mean, here just to show the similarity between the principle of Islamic finance and the project features. So sukuk structures, actually, theoretically, sukuk can be based on what they call any Sharia based and the contract actually, but most of them is based on following and the contract, like ijara based, I will show later on, and also murabaha based, also I will show it to you later on as well, wakala, istisna, bay salam, like musharaka and mudaraba. Actually, this one would be more on the partnership. Okay, partnership and the project, I can say. This one will be more on the sales, actually, this one and this one, and this one would be more on the sale base. This will be the rental based, so meaning that we can structure the sukuk in different ways. Now let's look at, I mean, when we want to issue the sukuk, I mean, when you want to design the sukuk, depending on the several factors as well. One of them is, of course, they have to comply with underlying Sharia contract, and also they needed risk profile. What does it mean? Is that actually it can be sale based, or it can be mudaraba, or it can be like, you know, depending on the what the risk profile we needed, and also desired cash flow. I mean, cash flow, I mean, as you know, the most of the investors, they wanted something like fixed cash flows, you know, so this will be some issues as well. And also the most importantly is like potential market acceptance of the sukuk. When you want to issue the sukuk, whether the market is accepting or not. So meaning that is when we want to design the sukuk, depending on the several and the factors. So now we try to look at, this is one of the most and the popular and the sukuk structure in Malaysia and also some other countries as well, actually. Okay, what we call this one asset-based and sukuk structure. Maybe you may thought why is problematic. Now let's look at this one. What we call the originator, the one who need the money basically. Okay, they need the money. They have to pledge the asset. So the asset is coming from them. Let's say it will be like building. Okay, and the building, it can be the underlying asset for the sukuk. Okay, sukuk. Then after that, they can issue asset base and the sukuk to the sukuk investors, the one who has the money. Okay, so they will subscribe to the sukuk. Let's say the money is coming from them, then money passed to mudarib or the originator. I mean the issuer basically, who issuing the sukuk. Then after that, they will pay like the project and the payment. Let's say they will pay like because you see, we have to know that even though you're transferring the asset, you are still using the asset. So for using the asset, you have to pay rental. Okay, rental, something like coupon actually. Okay, something like the coupon. Then after that, you will distribute the profit to the sukuk investors actually. So why you say this one is problematic actually? This is just using the asset. Okay, just using the asset. They just want to, this is, I mean, from the operational viewpoint, there is almost no differences between like collateral and the bonds actually. You see collateral bond, meaning that the asset will be the collateral, okay, and the collateral, but here, I mean, just transfer the ownership and so on and so forth. So meaning that this sukuk will be another big problem actually. So you, I mean, pledge the asset first, or you sell the asset first. Okay, sell the asset first. Let's say this sukuk structure for 10 years, for example. So after 10 years later, this originator, they have to buy back the asset. Okay, the only possible buyer will be the originator, meaning that the sukuk investors cannot sell to third party. I mean, they have to, I mean, what they call is has to buy back the assets actually. Okay, so what does it mean here? Here you sell first and buy back. Okay, and the buyback. So this will be one of the what they call is the sukuk structure in Malaysia actually, especially. I mean, sell first and the buyback. So and the sell and buy, I mean, this is just like what we call is bay al-inam. That is, I mean, very popular in Islamic finance. So meaning that this structure is not accepted by many different countries actually. So your purpose actually just to get the money. Your purpose is not to sell the asset. Actually, if you want to sell the asset, just sell in the market. You got the point on it. But your intention here is not to sell the asset, but you want to get the money. Okay, so this is called asset-based and sukuk structure. Because of this problem, okay, this is because of this problem, there is one of the well-known Islamic economists actually, they're called Taqi Osmani actually. They said like 80% Yes. Sorry. So they say like 80% sukuk in the market is not acceptable because of this, I mean, repurchase and obligation. So meaning that originator, they have to buy back the sukuk at maturity. So you see, I mean, in the sukuk, I mean, who's the originator, first establish the SPV, then the transfer the asset. You know, I think it's already become the collateral for the sukuk and so on and so forth. So this is, I mean, problematic structure, and also this is the one of the what they call is like very popular and the sukuk structure, but there will be, I mentioned, that will be the problem. Now let's look at this one. this one actually is, I mean, what they call is, the structure is similar, but this one is more what they call is acceptable. Okay, why I'm saying that this? You see, there is a company, again, the issuer, let's say Italian Airlines, for example, they want to buy Airbuses. Okay, Airbuses. So meaning that the company, they don't have the money to buy this. Okay, so what you need to do is, they will say, okay, I mean, issue this. They establish, of course, the SPV first. They ask them to issue the sukuk. What's the purpose of the sukuk? What was issuing the sukuk? To purchase these Airbuses from the vendor or the manufacturer, actually. Then the sukuk investor giving the money. Okay, giving the money. Then using that money, we purchase the Airbuses. So the Airbuses is belong to the sukuk investors because his money is from them. Then after that, we are renting this one to the Italian Airlines, for example. Okay, we are renting this one. Then after that, for this rental, they have to make the payment. Then the payment is, we have to distribute to sukuk investors. So this one will be more Sharia compliant, or it will be more Islamic. Why it will be more Islamic? Because the purpose is, there will be the real needs, actually. Real needs, meaning that the real needs to buy the Airbuses, not just simply fundraising process, but we need to buy some tangible asset from the manufacturer. Okay, from the manufacturer. So meaning that by this way, you see, what I want to say here is, we financing rail sector. We financing the tangible asset, actually. Look like very similar, but it's quite different and the story. But the first one is, they have the asset, the purpose is just want to get the money. But here, your intention is really purchase these assets, actually. Okay, so this will be called, I mean, ijara based and the sukuk structure. This one actually also accepted by, I mean, this will be less Sharia issues from the Islamic and the perspective. Okay, so this will be the, what they call is ijara based. Okay, now there will be another one. Okay, another one. I just want to show it to you, this one first, actually. I mean, what they call is, both of them are similar, but one of them, you see, I just want to show it to you here. This one will be rental. Okay, you got the point on it. They have to pay the rental. But in the murabaha structure, they have to sell it. How to sell? Cost plus and the profit. Okay, plus the profit. So meaning that one of them called the rental one called ijara sukuk. The one we sell, we call murabaha sukuk, actually. I think is, you have to, I just try to be careful when I explain this one, murabaha or BBA and the structure. So you see, the intention again to buy something. Okay, to buy something. So I mean, the company, they establish the SPV, asks them to issue the sukuk. Okay, and the sukuk. So they have to issue the sukuk to the sukuk holders. Then sukuk holders, they will give the money. Use the money to buy what they call the asset. The asset we sell to mudarib, not the rent, but we sell to the mudarib. Okay, of course, cost plus and the profit. Okay, cost and plus and the profit. So then after that, of course, I mean, the mudarib, they have to make the payment with the installment. Okay, the installment, then the payment we distribute to the sukuk holders, actually. So this structure is actually more Sharia compliant compared to the previous one. I mean, the first one, actually. Okay, so one of them called what they call the ijara, and another one they call, I mean, you can call this one is like rental sukuk. Okay, this one you can say like we are selling something, or they call murabaha sukuk, actually. Okay, I hope that it's clear. Okay, it's clear. Now let's move on. Now, I mean, there is a financial crisis, 1998. Okay, 1998. There will be financial crisis in Southeast Asian countries. Only the country who didn't borrow from IMF is Malaysia. Most of the countries is they borrow from what they call is like IMF. Until today, they're paying the debt. But only the countries that didn't borrow from what they call IMF is Malaysia, actually. So how they're financing, I mean, the deficit. Now we try to look at this one as well. This is the first and the sovereign or the government sukuk. issued by the Malaysian government known as Malaysian Global Sukuk. Okay, issued a sum of 600 million USD. Okay, maturity will be 2007. So they issued 2001, but it will be matured in 2007. So based on the Ijara contract, Sukuk is, what they call provided beneficial ownership of for land of the parcel. Okay, the land is belong to the government, so they put the land as like what they call a collateral. Okay, plus in the trust, then the land parcel sold by the government to the SPVs, then leased back to the government for semi-annual return, like lease and the payment. This is similar to the first Sukuk structure actually. Government sell first, then the buy back the land and later on actually. Okay, but okay, in the lease payment determined based on the LIBOR. Okay, based on the LIBOR reference rate, the payment will be like semi-annual dividend, the LIBOR plus 0.95%. If what they call the LIBOR is 5%, then the investor, they will get 5.95% actually. Okay, so this implying that if 6 months LIBOR is 5, then the Sukuk, they will distribute like 17.85 million each 6 months. You see this divided by 2 because it is semi-annual and the payment. So listed for trading in Luxembourg Stock Exchange, the Sukuk was the first and comply with all needed regulation to trade well internationally. Okay, so in this sense, essentially it complied with the needed regulation for the conventional bond to be listed in and traded internationally. With the first asset-based rather than asset-backed and the Sukuk. Okay, so this is one of the example how the Malaysian government issued the Sukuk in 2001. So meaning that they raise the fund domestically, they not borrow from IMF actually. So this is the one of the one. Now there is another one called Wakala Sukuk actually. This is also nowadays it's become very popular. Why? Because there is no need for underlying asset actually. In typical Sukuk Wakala structure, the obliger or the issuer as like agent of the Sukuk holders, meaning that I'm your agent, give your money, I will manage your money on your behalf. So the agent tasked with using the Sukuk proceeds to invest in the specific project or businesses, manage it, and providing the return for the Sukuk holders based on the return of the investment. So the Wakala and the agency agreement, what they call is specifying the arrangement of costs. Okay, so the obliger or the originator would be entitled to either fixed or what they call variable fee from the profit of the investment. Meaning that if I make the profit, I have to take some agent fees actually. So obliger is entitled to enter another contract like a mudaraba or the ijara with the other parties actually. Okay, so this is the call wakala and the contract. Okay, so wakala contract is become popular because of these flexibilities actually. Okay, so let's say this is the companies they want to issue, for example, they need sorry. So wakala is a different structure. Now we come to like what they call commodity murabaha and the structure actually. Okay, and the sukuk like Chagamas. Chagamas actually is like National Mortgage Corporation in Malaysia who purchase just like the Lehman Brothers of the Malaysia actually. Okay, who's purchasing the housing loan or the higher purchase loan from the Malaysian banks actually. So they need the money. What they are going to do, meaning that they need the money. Okay, they need the money. So what they call is they establish, of course, the SPV first. You see, this SPV established by the Chagamas as a wakil or the issuer. Okay, issuer. Then what they call is they want to purchase the asset from commodity broker A. Okay, then they will give the money. Okay, of course, money is coming from where? Coming from the sukuk holders actually. Okay, and the sukuk holders, so meaning that issued like commodity murabaha sukuk to the issuer, then they give the money. Then they give the money, they will pay to the commodity broker A. Now after that, the commodity, what they call is sold to and the Chagamas at different and the price. Let's say they purchase for 10 million, but they will sell to for and the 12 million actually. Okay, so what they call is here, let's say, because the intention is not to get the commodity, but the intention is to get the money. So they will sell in the market again for 10 million, but this will be one of the another what they call is problematic sukuk structure actually. Okay, I mean the intention is just to get the money, but they manipulate into transactions by just using the crude and the palm oil actually. Okay, so this will be also one of the problematic sukuk structure, because why I'm telling all of these, we have to know what's happening in going on the market. Then later on. Hello.
Available. The washroom.
Hello. I have still time, right? The time is given to me is.
Yes, sure. Go ahead.
Sorry for that. Okay, so this will be another problematic and the sukuk structures. So I already explained like 5 or 6 different structures. These are in the market actually. Okay, in the market. Now we try to look at unique sukuk structures actually. There has to be a trend more complex and structures due to, I mean, the altering the risk profile as well, different cash flows, as well as also the cash flow profile depending on the outcome as well actually. Okay, so now we try to look at what they call is these structures, for example, even what they call is like the sukuk structure with embedded and put options. Okay, embedded put options actually. Actually, this one similar to the first sukuk structures. They will, you see, the asset is coming from the mudarib. If asset is coming from mudarib, always there will be some problem, because I mean at the majority they have to buy back the asset. So they issue the sukuk, that the sell the sukuk, then receive the money, then lease the asset. But what is put options actually? What will happen if at majority the originator, they don't want to buy back the asset actually? Okay, it can be happen. I mean, let's say originator, I sell to you, now I don't want to buy back. So, you know, now if they have the put option, the investors has right to sell back to the mudarib. This is just like the put option or the derivative actually. Okay, so meaning that this will be the another sukuk structures in Malaysia as well actually. Okay, now I want to propose, actually this is my proposal. I mean, that is, and the previous one was happening in the market, but now this is my proposal. For example, let's say this can be any government or like any companies, for example, let's say providing the food, providing the healthcare, providing energies. I mean, something for good for humanity. For example, they need the money, they want to build something, but they don't have the money, for example. Now, let's say any project, for example, or any development project, let's say it takes time to establish it. We call this one the construction period. I mean, in order to build something, we have to need some and the period. So that's I call istisna, I mean, period. Istisna meaning that under the construction. So after the project is completed, I mean, of course, they need, we have the sukuk holders, they have to give the money first. Then after that, they're able to generate positive and cash flow after the completion. So if there is a profit, it can be shared by, the profit can be shared by between the government or the sukuk investors, or with the companies and the sukuk and the investors actually. Okay, then after that, what will happen end of the 10 years, we can, what they call is convert into, like we can go to the IPOs. Okay, we can go to the IPOs. So let's look at it. So that's why we call this one convertible. Convertible meaning that your sukuk can be converted into the stocks at the majority. Okay, why call istisna? This is the construction period. This will be the mudaraba period. Mudaraba period meaning that we are sharing the profit between among the parties actually. Let's look at like one by one. So first 3 years, for example, let's say the government, they can pledge the asset. I mean, the government is the plenty of the land. So they established the SPV. Okay. So the purpose of the SPV, meaning that we're going to project something. We're going to finance some project actually. Okay. Then after that, government pledge the land, then issue like sukuk mudaraba. Okay. Then the sukuk holders, they give the money. I mean, the land and the money goes together. We go to project financing. So this will be for first 3 years. This is during the completion of the project. Then after that, after like a year to year 10, the project started to generating some revenues. Okay, revenues. So this revenue can be shared by between the government and the sukuk holders as like dividend, like based on the profit sharing ratios. Maybe government can take 40%, sukuk holders can get like 60%, or they can share between 50-50 actually. Okay, or like 30-70 and so on and so forth. This will be, I mean, the what they call is I mean the mudaraba period. Then after what they call end of the 10 years, they're going for IPOs. Okay, IPOs. Then what they call is they can go to proceed the IPOs. Then what they call is the government, they have to return the sukuk. The sukuk holders, they have to return the sukuk as well. So you have the option get the stocks or the cash. Government also same, you can get back the stock or the cash. So meaning that, but you have to return the sukuk. You see, I mean, gradually the government project is become like public listed company after like 10 years and later. So after the post IPOs, the listed companies, the shareholders, they receive annual dividend, the government can receive annual dividend as well. So this is one of the proposal or like innovative sukuk structures to the governmental project or the infrastructure and the projects actually. Okay, so the sukuk and the challenges, the issues and the challenges of the sukuk now based on that. The issues of the partnership sukuk is getting less popular in the capital market in the past few years. Mudaraba sukuk is or equity-based sukuk structures where I mean what they call is losses shared between the parties as well. However, like several instruments like fixed like product return or the sukuk or guaranteed the principal of the sukuk holders as well. So this will be some issues actually. Okay, so Islamic scholars also oppose bay alina, like just now I already showed it to you, like sell and buyback, and believe that the contract is planned agreement which is created by the parties by themselves actually. And end of the agreement, one party will get immediate and cash against the future obligation, settling at the higher amount. It seems to be both parties no intention to commit the sale and the contract and use the asset like as any consumer and the thus. So repurchase obligation, like end of the maturity, the I mean they have to what they call is they have to buy back. So this repurchase obligation make the sukuk is unacceptable from Islamic perspective as well. So murabaha sukuk is just an real asset base or merely asset backed actually. Actually, most of the sukuk structures is nowadays is just merely asset backed, meaning that is not financing real needs actually. Okay, so a recommendation will be issuing sukuk for real needs like infrastructure project, governmental project, and so on, not just merely a fundraising application by controversial contract such as Bay Alina, Bay Al Dain, or other others. So increase the partnership based on the sukuk such as Mudaraba or Mushara and the sukuk. So sukuk project can be designed the way that finance it to the partners, not the just and the lenders. Okay, allowing the risk to be shared among the parties as well. So sukuk must be issued based on real needs such as the development and infrastructure project, not just for fundraising activities by using manipulated an asset. Okay, and also it issued not only for institutional investors, it should be encouraged public participation as well by offering smaller denominations as well actually. So that will be end of my presentation. Thanks for the opportunity given. I will open to any like Q&A and the sessions. Thank you.
Thank you, Burhan. Thank you for the presentation, the clear presentation, and also for the enthusiasm in this topic. Okay, I think that we are on time perfectly. So let's have the coffee break and let's see in the different parallel session. I just remember that we have all the link for the parallel session in the program. So in TIEF website you can find the link, but also you should have received the link for each parallel session in your email. Okay, so let's see in the parallel session and also in the plenary section in the afternoon. Thank you again.
Thank
See you
you.
later.
So I will drink from my office, Prof. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank
Bye-bye.
you.